I study language endangerment and sociolinguistics. Language endangerment is when a minority language doesn't have a prestigious or a high use in society, like Standard English or like Mandarin Chinese in China. And so a lot of minority languages aren't being spoken and they're not being passed on to their children. And so I'm looking at the process at how these languages are not being spoken anymore.
The language that I'm working on is very interesting for a number of reasons. The language is a particularly conservative group of Tibeto-Burman languages, and by conservative what that means is that it preserves a lot of the sounds and grammar of earlier languages that it descends from. The reason that I'd like to do the work that I'm doing is to help the community of speakers preserve their language. When a language is lost, it's like losing an identity for the speakers, and so it's a very I think it's a very important goal of my research, and it's also in some ways hopefully a noble topic to work on.
My interests are primarily in how language and identity interact. I'm interested in how the sounds that we make, the sounds that we produce, project who we are as individuals. And I'm really interested in local things. So I'm really interested in Hawaii English and also in Pidgin, the Hawaii Creole English that's spoken here. And I'm looking at how individuals change their speech across contexts and how those differences kind of come together to form a full identity of an individual speaker.
UH Manoa is a leader among linguistics departments in the world because of its focus on endangered language documentation. And one of the first places that you'll read about if you begin to study endangered languages is UH Manoa.
So the Bilinski Foundation has made a really big impact on my ability here to do research even. I've received 2 summer scholarships for my fieldwork in China so that I can afford to go to the field and spend time and do research there, where otherwise I don't have enough money for myself to fund that. And so applying for outside funding is necessary. But to have this at our university, designated specifically for our department for students wanting to do linguistics research, is really something that's not common, I think, and it's really special that we're able to have that here. And also just having the time to work on a Bilinski fellowship, to not have to work full-time while we're doing our research and writing our qualifying papers and eventually dissertation. It's really great that we don't have to dedicate all this time to outside resources, but just spend all of our time doing that, and hopefully that'll speed up our process in the program and get us through and get our degrees faster. So thank you, Bilinski, for this opportunity.
So when I first arrived, I remember meeting people who were working on their dissertation, and they had jobs, a lot of times full-time jobs, and they were also trying to complete their dissertation, and it took such a long time and just a crazy amount of emotional wreckage for them to do their research at the same time as also holding a job. And it was definitely a bifurcation of their energies. And for me and for all of us who received the Bilinski Fellowship, it means that we can have a focus that other people are not granted when they're doing their dissertation research, that we don't have a job, we have nothing distracting us from what we're doing, so that we can really truly focus on the research, and we can finish our dissertation research and the writing of the dissertation in a timely manner without our energies being focused elsewhere.
I'm extremely grateful for the opportunities that I've been given through the Bilinski Foundation here at UH Manoa. It's allowed me to do research in a part of the world where not many people are doing research, and it's allowed me to make connections to a community of speakers who are keenly interested in documenting their language and their culture before it disappears. So I'm very grateful for their support.